We could do it again. The thing is, when they open it, it breaks. We chose. Years.
And sky.
The wheels turn.
Get the ship on the road.
1/3.
Oh.
But something that you, I guess, something to use, the insurance. It's one of the constant.
On, yeah, it's time to start. It's time to begin.
Good evening, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. If everybody stand in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Missy, can we do roll call? Yes. Tanya? Here. Ryan? Libby?
Here.
Fritz?
Here.
Vanessa?
Here.
We have a quorum. Okay, so we need to get a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And then a motion to approve the minutes from August 19th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from August 19th.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? New business, we have, they must all be on Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom, Adam? Steve?
Good
This
evening,
is-
Tanya. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? How about now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So I'll give you an update. Since the last time we spoke online, we put down the base of the first layer of asphalt in the open grade. That is down. The curb and gutter is now in from one end to the other, and we started doing sidewalks and approaches all the way down through the line on the on the main line. They are going to begin paving tomorrow the next layer of base and come back with intermediate as we go down through there. They're also working on the trail. We're down past Central and Trail right now with the sub base that we're working on, getting ready to jump across and then hopefully get that done and pave that in the next couple of weeks. But we'll see what Grant has on his program there. I'm not quite sure what he's got. There has been no inquiries on the State Road 67. We do have a new neighbor there. Libby's got the ice cream shop open. Looks like it's doing really well. Parking lot's full, so I have to stop in there. Do you guys have milkshakes, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll have to try that out. Love chocolate milkshake. So looks like it'll be doing really well. So, and that's all I have.
Thanks, Steve. Anybody got
You're
any
welcome.
questions? Glad we're moving
I'm
on.
also on, Tanya.
Is Grant there?
Yep. I can give a quick update about our schedule too. So over, like Steve said, starting tomorrow, we're actually going to start paving the next layer of base, as well as we're going to start intermediate later in the week into next week. And then we do plan to start paving the trail here in about 2 weeks is when we expect to have the sub base done. And we're also working to get all the concrete work completed by the end of the month. So that's kind of our next few weeks goal of things to get done. And we are still on track to meet our completion date. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant. Okay, so old business. Council to consider second reading of ordinance 2024-8A, amending and restating the speed limit schedule.
I can kind of go over this a little bit. This is the second reading that we're looking for. It was introduced at the last meeting. And the last meeting, I had a red line version showing you all the changes. It was pretty much just Fortville Pike is the only thing that's being changed. So it just reduces the speed coming in from the south there. So that's the only modifications.
Anybody got any questions for Joe? I'll be looking for a motion then.
I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance 2024-8A, reinstating the speed limit schedule.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it carries. We need to sign this copy. I was told.
Yes, please.
Okay. Next, we have Joe.
No, I guess to continue on with the report with the speed limits. I want to let you know that we did interviews for the street department in the openings. We were able to get Noah Nicholas back. He was working with us for about 2 years. He left us earlier in the year for a different position and was interested in coming back. So we had had a conversation with him and decided to bring him back. He's already familiar with what we do and we're glad to have him. Also in the 8th position that we had open, we've interviewed and offered a position to Anthony Tony Belcher, just pending his pre-employment background check. So as soon as we get that clear, we're hoping to get him on board as quick as possible. The other thing I wanted to bring up is I wanted to thank Katie Weaver Curry. Is that right? Okay. She served on our police commission for about 6 years, maybe a little longer, started in 2018. She's moved out of town, so that leaves a position vacant on the police commission board. So we can start posting that. So I know there's been some questions about the BP. I wanted to kind of bring up some, I guess, updates. As of last Friday, I believe it was, I heard from INDOT. The INDOT still does not have a set of plans for an entrance to review, to approve that. So I know that their engineer is still waiting for information from the owners. So that's kind of where that's at in case people are wondering, because I know it's been sitting for quite some time and it really needs to be open. We like to see it open. So hopefully they get that drawings and stuff to INDOT pretty soon so they can review it and hopefully approve it. And the other thing is we've been looking to change our utility locating company. So at the end of this month, Samco will start locating our utilities for us. Been working with those folks, working with Alex on the contract and getting all the details worked out. And we're working with our GIS coordinator to be able to get them access to some maps, drawings and stuff to help them do those locates for us. Other than that, the other thing I just want to kind of touch back on as far as hiring our folks and having our 8th position filled. I'm talking with Dave today, talk to him, every day. He's needing people. He's needing somebody out there at the plant with the new water plant and the upgrades they done to the sewer plant years ago. they said when that plant was built that it was going to take another person to run the press. We've never hired that person. He's really struggling, needing somebody else out there to help operate that. It's very possible that somebody on our street and utility team is going to end up going out to the plant, which would leave another opening that we need to backfill at that point. And in the last 10 to 13 years, our road mileage, our utilities have more than doubled. So just want you to be aware that we need to just about double that department over the next few years to try to get back to where we were, to be able to keep up with just the normal maintenance that I feel really bad that it's been lacking just because we don't have the manpower to go out and do the little things that mean a lot, that people see. Our utilities take a priority, and then the roads take a priority. The new development and the inspection and watching over that stuff to make sure it's going in right. That's pulling our guys away from doing some of the maintenance issues and just the upkeep around the community. And so I just wanted to put that out there that we will be looking to bring some more staff on if approved, so we can start growing that department a little. And that's all I have, unless you have something for me.
Questions for Joe?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Adam,
Nothing for me unless you have questions or anything.
Heath is not here, so Chief, what do you have?
Not yesterday, last Monday, our new hire Dylan was sent to ILEA. He'll be gone for 16 weeks, getting his training and certification through the state to become a full-time police officer. So we're excited about that. I think we get him back December 13th or 16th. I don't remember which one, but whatever that Thursday is, that's when we'll get him back. Our hiring process, the next person we're getting through PERF currently. Once we get all that taken care of and sent over, then we'll introduce him to you all so you could see him. I'd like to mimic what Joe said about thanking Katie for her support with the police commission. And then when we get it posted, I would like to be invited into those interviews, or at least review the resumes that come through. So we could take a look at those. And then other than that, I don't have anything. Our canine officer broke a tooth, which I emailed you all about. He'll be getting a root canal soon, but it doesn't affect his ability to work he's trained in two things, narcotics and then patrol work. And it doesn't affect his narcotics work. So we're still using him for that, as long as the vet said, as long as he's not in any pain. So he's still been out on the road with Sergeant Archer, and then we've have his root canal scheduled. So when that gets taken care of, they said 2 to 3 weeks, and he'll be able to go back doing his normal patrol work as long as everything heals and there's no infection and things like that. So it broke during training. They had a really good training with a couple other surrounding counties, Shelby County, Rush County. I think some of the Lawrence dogs, the Hamilton County dogs, and our county dogs all kind of got together and had scenario-based training. So and that's part of it. It's just,
Is the canine any?
it's a front canine that broke off, and Sergeant Archer said he wouldn't even notice, except he saw it in the sleeve, like, what's that little white thing? And they pulled it out, and it's Oscar's tooth. So, but they said his teeth were healthy, his gums were healthy, everything was right. It's just the dog bit down too hard, and they tend to do that sometimes. So we did not file workman's comp on that one. I think right now our vet bill was $232 for the medicines and the infection preventative and things like that. So we'll see what the root canal comes out.
I can imagine what the root canal will be.
Yeah, most vets take care of law enforcement dogs.
That's
They
good.
usually just volunteer their time, and then whatever medicines they have to provide is what they charge us. So very fortunate to have those people in place and the support we get from the community. Other than that, I don't have anything unless you have questions.
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Missy?
Nothing unless you have something for me.
Alex?
I don't have anything, although I did
see the sign for the first time when I pulled in. It looks great.
Does it look nice?
Yeah.
Looks real
really
nice. I haven't got to see it lit up yet, but
Well, it's actually lit up all the time. Well, it was lit up all the time. They come out and put an eye on it. So, yeah.
Okay.
And the round circle is pretty bright. And I have noticed too that the address at the bottom is pretty small. So I may look at getting that enlarged a little bit so it's more noticeable.
okay, public comment? Public? You looking around?
Is this on? It's Bob Starrett. Hey, I just had an idea. I see some of you respond to some ridiculous comments and happenings, and you try to argue with people and tell them what the truth is. And so I thought there's an awful lot of people in Fortville that have no idea, obviously, that there's meetings here, and they don't know who you are because they aren't involved. And I thought, so I asked Joe a week or two ago, you probably wonder why I asked, how many water customers we have. So there's like 2,500 in-town customers approximately. I think it would be swell if you guys would take it upon yourselves to do a newsletter, a one-pager that goes into the water bill. Andy can let people know on happenings, send texts out and say, look at your water bills. There's information in there. Maybe on the backside, put the agenda that's on the next meeting or whatever. I just think that people in town have no idea what's going on because they're not involved. Whinstone's like their own little town out there. They don't, I walk out there almost every day. They have no idea. I don't think they think they're part of Fortville other than when they get their water bill. But I just think that some of you could go together and each of you write one paragraph, one article, whatever, and put in. I just can't believe I was in print and mail for 30 years. I don't believe it's going to cost too much money. It's not going to put the town out of business by adding a page to every single water bill that goes out. So that's just my idea. I think it's worth thinking about. I think, I don't know, I think Vanessa would be a good one to write it. I don't know. So anyway, just put that.
Well,
I think that
there's
you all
been
chip in.
100 occasions where we've discussed putting things in the water bill about different stuff,
But let people know, because I also get an email or text or whatever that says how much my water bill is. And sometimes I don't open my water bill, but if I know that there's a newsletter in there, I will. And if I feel that the water bill is extra heavy, that means there's some kind of a water treatment information in there. I open it up and do read that. I don't need a return envelope. I wish that there's a way you could tell the company to not automatically include return envelopes. I don't know how many people mail it in. Maybe you could save money on the return envelopes and put a newsletter in there instead. But I do think it'd be worthwhile. And just remind people everywhere you can that there's a newsletter coming in your next bill, and open the damn thing up and read it, and maybe you'll get more than 5 people here for your meetings. Maybe you don't want that, but I think it's time that we kind of get more people in here. So that's my suggestion for you. Take it and do something with it.
That's a good idea on the return envelope. I've never opened it before in my life.
Yeah,
People do it digitally,
it's
though.
an interesting idea. I don't get my water bill by paper, so I actually don't even know. It's an interesting idea. I don't even get the water bill by paper.
I don't either.
I wouldn't even receive what you're describing, but I would just say, yeah, we go on Facebook and try to, share perspectives about things, and that to varying levels of success or not success. But, I, for example, have an official Facebook page where I push information that I find important. Not a whole lot of people engage with that either. Just kind of like a handful of people who are kind of interested in the stuff I'm interested in. So I don't know.
Everyone just put their hand Japanese because they're crazy. It's just.
There is? That's news to me. It's the same people.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying anything Facebook or anything internet, if people aren't on Facebook, not social media, if they don't have internet, they're not going to tune into any of it anyway. And so your idea is a paper-based, update. that goes into something everybody receives, except if you get it electronically.
Well,
an
Andy is
interesting
here
thing.
and he is so good at following our directions. Because you did, after our last meeting, he was here,
Yeah.
he followed through. I always thought, because Facebook is silly, it is a great place to fight and Tanya, you're so good and getting on there trying to set them straight. And I'm just like, I just don't even want to engage. But I always thought it would be fun to have a newsletter and Andy could go and debunk all the, actually put the facts out there. And you used to do a newsletter, didn't you? The Boom?
Yeah. Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, yeah.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Andy Williams. So we're switching, not necessarily switching companies with our website, but we are upgrading. And with that, we will be able to put out a weekly newsletter. If any of you are familiar with McCordsville, they put one out every Friday at noon and it's wonderful.
It is
I've
good.
received it for years. And it's all tied into their website and what they do. What we found out from Town Web, who we have our website through, is that the majority of municipalities do use Facebook pages as well as their website. That seems to be the most, the easiest way to get out to most people in the community and everything. Unfortunately, we do get a lot of rumors and everything that go out there to happenings, and unfortunately, a lot of the times, even the police department has dealt with this where people try to report stuff to happenings, thinking it's town related and it's not. And so you'll get some news on there that you're like, wait a second, why didn't they just call the utility office? We see that all the time. So unfortunately, we got to get on there and kind of surf that a little bit and pull from there just to see what people are concerned about, or, obviously those people aren't here, the keyboard warriors that are out there, they don't want to come to the public meeting. They don't want to put that time into it. They just want to sit home and complain. We all deal with that. But you're right. As far as debunking, again, Tanya, you do a great job of getting on there, and
It's hard, it's
Yeah,
hard to deep.
it's- yeah,
It's even the presidential.
exactly.
election.
It's everywhere we look.
We need a happenings fact checker.
My wife will get on me about that at night. She's like, here you are on there just, and I'm like, well, I want to see what our community's talking about. I want to see what they're upset about.
And you
see
have
what we
to,
can
yeah.
do to-
That's the only way you're gonna know what they're upset about.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Of it, like what happened at Wendy's, people say stuff like that because they're thinking other people might have tips, they don't want to bother the police. They're just, and yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, so I'm all for that, and we just had our intro today with the upgrade on the website and everything. So all those gradual changes are coming. They're gonna start updating everything. And then from there, we will have that go out weekly, which will be the newsletter. And then I'll share it through Facebook and all of our social media as well.
The text link, it'll go on the text link, yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's.
And we need to keep it there. That's why I said we don't need a bunch of different things, but
Right.
that newsletter, if he gets that set up that way, then all that information is going to be on there.
Yeah, because it will be all digital that way. It'll be on the website. It's always available, and you can always go back and see that it stays on there. It's archived. Anything that goes on to Facebook, same thing. It stays on there. It's archived. Once it's out there, it's out there. It's public knowledge and everything, and for them to come back to. As far as there is a new Discover Fortville that just popped up today.
Oh, God.
And then as last week, the businesses met at Moondrops. So that's all kind of kicking up. If we can all try to stay together on that, so no one's breaking apart, trying to one up anybody, that'd be fantastic. That way we can continue to help the community.
Collective information in
Yeah.
one spot is the best way to do it.
So I'm trying to do from the town's perspective, stay on top of that and do whatever we can do to help with any of that, and be a part of it. So
So my only concern is let's go way back. Lots of people don't have internet, or anything like that, but maybe something in print.
we can
Like-
always put something up in the front entryway, and that way it's available 24/7 up there. We can always put
we can always print them out and have them sitting at the front window when they come up for the utility, with questions or they pay. Like you said, we see that quite a bit. Cause we could do most of our utility payments online through our website. But you still have those people out there that don't have the internet. They may not even have a smartphone. So
Those that are doing their utilities, though, paying them on bill pay or whatever, they're getting a text message. So that would be where you could get that letter to them via the text link.
And just like on our website already, if there's any emergency that goes out there, we put it on our ticker. It immediately tells us or asks us to, do you want this to go to the text, to their emails? And those are the two options on there as well as on the website. So that, as long as you sign up for it, you have to pick those options. So that way you get notified. So hopefully we get more people. I mean, Libby and I have talked about this several times, but the subscriptions in the past with our town web, it bumped up since I've been here. I mean, it's gone up, I don't know, probably 200 or 300%, and just putting it out there. Hey, subscribe to updates and so on and so on. Try to put it on all the Facebook posts as well as any other posts that go out there, just letting them know, here's the link and everything. So hopefully we can just kind of spread that, more and more to people so they can actually get the facts rather than the hearsay. So
Have that posted, the subscribe to get text messages like by the utility drop off or anything, or by the reporter pickup?
I'll have to look and see if it's still on. I thought I had it on we have a notice out there that has all the meetings and everything, the little calendar, and I believe it's on there, but I can always make a bigger one. Yeah. And amplify it. So yeah.
Flashing lights.
Whatever we need to do to.
Well, what I noticed too, though, just in answering some of these things that you see on Facebook, different platforms, not just happenings, but you can go to the town website and find just about whatever you want if you ask the right question.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it's lack of interest to go there and even look at it to begin with, or if it's confusion, or if it's just they don't use the computer at all. So
Sensation
it's-
sells.
yeah, I mean, it's just,
Because people want they're entertained back and forth with the back and forth. It's.
That stuff doesn't entertain me.
Everybody has this right in the palm of your hand. You sit at home and go, what trouble can I get into tonight?
I
What can
could
do?
drive down the street and see all the crap
yeah.
I want to see,
Can I do
so
that-
I
that
want to see
Tanya
the
did
real
that?
thing.
No,
Yeah.
whatever we can do to help with the community and as far as what we can put on our website to really promote anything that, government wise, and leave all the entertainment stuff to the new Discover Fortville or even FAI or really anybody else that's doing that. That way we're not, the factual stuff is there. You see it right away rather than it getting lost in the shuffle. So it's nice that other people, be local, and all of them that are promoting the community. We try to promote and do whatever we can from the government side of it, but that's just it. We are the government side of it. We are trying to, what's going on with meetings, what's going on with, certain ordinances and stuff like that. So that's just it. We don't want to get lost in the entertainment part of it and, attractions and all that stuff. So that's, yeah. But we'll do whatever we can. And the other thing is the website upgrade will have a better business directory. So that will be coming out soon to everyone, that they can respond to it, add their material, their image for their logo or anything like that. So that will help as well.
Thank you.
Putting anything to print costs money, so we'd have to print the sheet that goes with the water bill, I believe, for them to stuff it. So
We're talking about. Year. And that's what they did. If you're getting. You really shouldn't.
well, we just give 2,500 to be local to do a festival. So we have, we have to account for that. I don't know how we account for that.
We spent our paper budget.
Yeah, we spend our paper budget on a party for the town. I mean, you could look at it that way. I'm just talking about what people in the community would say. if you ask them that, because it is their money. It is. But you have to be interested. And I would think that'd be great.
It's a very good point. I mean, I bring it up in person with people. I meet people in town and I bring it up to them. I say the next meeting is here, the next meeting is here, and they don't show. I don't know. Neighbors, people I know, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I think that is good.
Unless it affects them, they probably won't. I mean, that's the nature of it, unfortunately.
Every single Facebook thing I reply to, at the bottom of it, I say when the next town meeting is, and I'm like, let's discuss it there. Please come to the meeting, bring it up at the meeting. Next meeting is whatever Monday, so, you know. But it's an interesting point, you know, it's a good
Yep.
point.
All
You
right.
got some comments, Carrie? I know what you want. You want a newspaper and I'm with you. I'm on it. If I had the money. I know. Yeah. Mom was just talking about it today. Mom pays for that reporter
Okay,
that
and
never comes.
Question, my name's Toasty for the record. Changed out Broadway and Garden Street. Is that gonna be a permanent design?
The what?
The curve where you come off of 67 on the Garden Street?
Oh, down at the west end of town.
Oh, the
Yeah.
jam up,
Huh?
the jam up, the new jam up zone where the cars kind of squeeze through.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I have witnessed it about every morning. This morning was real bad with a school bus
Mhm.
and some trailers. That is, I'm sorry, I'm no engineer, but me, that is very, and I understand too, you want to keep the speed down, but
It usually was an expressway to get, people come off of 67 and
Right.
fly down
Fly
that.
up.
You can't
So
do that now.
I-
You can't do that.
I live 4 houses down from that opening that you're describing, and the cars come flying down anyway. They find a way to get up to like 40, 45 miles an hour anyway from that little jam
Right.
going past my house. So the little jam up is not slowing them down from speeding down Garden Street. And I agree with you. And I actually asked INDOT about it because they had just laid that area. And I am an engineer and I asked INDOT about it and I asked to look at the drawings and they said that these drawings were done by INDOT engineers and had already been approved before the public meeting in 2022. And they said that if I wanted to review the drawings, I would have to point out how the drawings were non-compliant to the state standards. And I would, if I worked full-time for INDOT, I would do it. But, at that point, I just inquired, were these drawings done or reviewed by an engineer? And they affirmed, yes, these were, either completed or signed off by an engineer. And I don't see how they could be compliant to any standards because it just doesn't make traffic safety sense.
Right.
I've been stopped on Broadway because the cars don't fit in that little area. There was a big truck with a big, huge trailer behind it that couldn't even make its way through it
Right.
and all the traffic was backed up. It doesn't make any sense,
Yep.
but it was done by an engineer and it was approved in 2022 before the public meeting. I didn't even live in Fortville then. So that I wouldn't even have had any kind of chance to object to that. And that's what INDOT said.
From what I've seen of NDOT's engineers, they have a lot to be desired.
Well, I'll agree with
I
that. I mean,
I don't know
any
where they're getting
engineer,
at.
as far as roads concerned, I think they
Yeah.
all,
And
They
we
could leave
got
some.
roads around the state, I've traveled around and they are horrible. And we got one of the highest fuel taxes and all this, or road tax, and the roads are still crap.
I think it's gonna be hard for us to tell what happens until it opens all the way. And we can see,
Yeah.
it seems super tight right now because they don't have a lot of lane room. So it might not seem as bad, or it might continue to look the same. I don't know, but right now, when it's not finished, it's hard to tell, I think.
I seen that school bus this morning and another going east and people was there and I mean, school bus drivers got enough problems, let alone.
No, any vehicle that's longer than a tiny sedan has trouble getting through there. I'm with you on this. I'm inclined in the direction of what you're saying. I asked INDOT the questions that make sense to me. You know, if INDOT couldn't have proven that an engineer worked on it or signed off on it, that would be easy to point out and say, oh, well, then this is probably a garbage design. But they claimed that an engineer worked on it. These documents aren't readily available on the document portal. You know, you can find a contract, you can't really find all those blueprints and drawings very easily. And I kind of dropped it at that point. But, you know, I might take another look at it. I agree with Tanya that maybe when it's all done, maybe something changes. And I personally would be more inclined to look at it again, personally myself, because I live right on that block on that road. Once it's all done, I personally will be fired up once again to take another look at all the drawings and see what we see about it, because it's my job to sit and make designs be compliant to government standards. I do that all day. So I don't mind doing it. I just didn't at the time feel like it was worth it to sit for hours and hours doing that, but maybe when it's done.
Okay, I think a D11 dozer would do a marvelous job straightening things out down there, but that's my personal opinion.
We like your opinion.
You want me to get some more to get people to come to the meeting?
Yeah, I know how hard that is. Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Toasty.
you.
Appreciate it. I think that's all the public people here, so. Libby, do you have anything to say? I have nothing to say. Vanessa?
I just wanted to share a quick note that I sent an email around to everybody up here today, and I also posted a similar posting on my official Facebook page, some information about drone companies to avoid and drone companies that have been officially approved by the Department of Defense. You all might have heard a couple different times, the Fortville Police Department is planning a drone purchase, you know, later in the next year, 6 months, whenever it is. So DJI drones from China, that's basically Chinese spy cameras flying around looking at our country. So that would be the top one to avoid. But I also provided a list of, there's about 15 specifically approved companies by the DoD. I personally think that it would make a lot of good sense to stick with one of those companies. That's up to the police department. But I also shared a lot of that same information on Facebook and some other information about other companies that the federal government is looking at, such as Lenovo computers. Lenovo computers have spyware on them that basically would allow the Chinese government to look at what's on your computer. So for us or for you guys or for anybody, probably not a good idea. I had one years ago. It worked really well, but I won't be buying another one because I don't want to be spied on. So that's all I've got.
Fritz?
No comment.
Okay, I make a motion to approve and assign vouchers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:08.
I second.
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks. Thanks for coming. We're doing it right now. I had him sitting in front of me. Here you go.